If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you probably heard the word M&A tossed around in the business world. And maybe you heard it from another business owner or a podcast or the business news. You have an idea what it is, but you probably think M&A is a game that's only accessible to the big companies like private equities, investment banks, or hedge funds. But here is the truth. M&A is where real wealth is built. And it is not just for the Wall Street guys. It's even accessible for the everyday business owners like you and me. So in today's video, I'm going to break down what M&A actually is in the simplest terms, why people do it, how you can use M&A to build real wealth, and why it matters now more than ever. Just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Anish and I'm a business owner, an M&A advisor, and a business coach. I bring a practical, no BS approach to help real entrepreneurs build real wealth with an aim to give you more freedom in your life. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I worked in the commercial bank and I have seen countless business financials and worked with hundreds of business owners. And I myself have bought and sold companies with my own personal savings. And I want to give you the most practical breakdown of what M&A is without any fluff, jargons, or overcomplicated nonsense. So let's start with what M&A actually stands for. M&A stands for mergers and acquisitions. Obviously, there is two parts to it. And let's start with acquisitions first. Acquisition is when you buy an existing company outright and you become the new owner of the business. It's like shopping, but for a business. And there are two ways that these businesses are listed for sale. The first way is a share sale. That's when you can buy all the shares of the business. It's like buying the ownership rights to the business. During a share sale, you get everything in the business, like the asset, the brand, the customer base, policies, and even their liability. So you better do some thorough checks when it comes to share sale. Oh, by the way, the process of doing a thorough check is called due diligence. Now, the second way, it's called an asset sale. This is when you only purchase the asset of the existing business, like the trucks, equipments, tools, or the book of business. Asset sale is less risky as you're not assuming any liability of the business. But here's a catch. Most of these businesses listed for asset sale are usually business that is already under distress. Is probably not making profit, or the owner is just looking to liquidate the company for some personal reasons. Now, let me give you an example of an acquisition. Let's talk about Bob, the landscaper. He owns a landscaping company for over 30 years, and now he's tired. He wants to retire and enjoy his life in the beaches of Costa Rica. He decides that if he could sell his business, it could probably fund his dream lifestyle, because he could probably get a few $100,000 or a few $1,000,000 for his business if it's positioned correctly. A smart advisor will know how to make a good case and show Bob's business as a unique opportunity for a buyer to acquire. And after talking to a lot of buyers and after a series of negotiation, boom, a buyer puts an offer and the business is sold. And that's an acquisition right there. You see acquisitions everywhere, from your local coffee shop to the big tech companies like Google and Facebook. And you don't need to be a Wall Street guy to do M&A, because Bob is not a Wall Street guy and Bob probably doesn't even own a suit. Now, let's talk about mergers. Mergers is almost like marriage between two companies. You join forces with another company to gain more market share or efficiencies, like Disney and Pixar, or Axon and Mobile. And honestly, on the ground level, I've seen way more acquisitions than mergers. Mergers can get very complicated because you need to find alignment in every single thing for a deal to push forward. Like, you need to find alignment in brand, culture, team, systems, and most importantly, legality. So it can get very complicated very fast, and it usually can take up to a few years to close. Now let's talk about what's in it for you. Let's start with the 9 to 5 employees. If you're a 9 to 5 employee, chances are you are tired of the rat race. You want more time with your family and you don't want to ask permission to your manager for taking a day off or enjoying your son's baseball game. You want more freedom and control over your schedule. You probably thought of starting your own business, but you know starting a business is risky. You want something stable and predictable that can fund your current lifestyle. And that's exactly what you can accomplish with M&A if you buy the right company. I'll tell you some interesting facts. Only 30% of new businesses survive after 5 years. But when it comes to buying a business, you have a success rate of more than 80%. And with buying a company, you can also build it further and sell it someday for a profit. And now giving you access to some real wealth and real freedom. Now, for my business owner folks who's been running business for over 5 years profitably, M&A can be a gold mine for you, but only if you know how to do it the right way. You could possibly work with an M&A advisor who can help you position your business as a sellable asset and claim hundreds of thousands of dollars or a few $1,000,000 for your regular everyday business. With that money, you could possibly move on to your next venture, travel all around the world, or just live the life that you always dreamt of. As easy as it sounds, there's a catch. The issue is most business owners don't know how to position their business as a sellable asset. And that's exactly why 80% of the businesses never sell. If you're thinking about selling your business someday, you need to start early and work with someone knowledgeable and understands what buyers are looking for and what the market demands at that particular point in time. So experience is money when it comes to selling your business. Now, for the ambitious entrepreneurs who's looking to take on a new challenge and build wealth, M&A can supercharge your path. Now, instead of spending years building a business, you can possibly buy a business or possibly even a few businesses and scale it further and sell it all together for a much higher price. Of course, buying a business requires money, but banks these days provide flexible financing with smaller down payment. And if you're smart, you can have a good deal in place and possibly even raise some funds from some investors to join you in that journey. When it comes to M&A, returns are big. And many times the ROI is almost 30%. And if you work with a business coach who can help you grow the value of that business, you're very likely going to sell that business in a few years for much more than what you paid for. Now let's talk about who are the parties that are typically involved in a deal. You have a business owner, of course, with a business, and then you need a buyer who is interested in buying the business. And in the middle, you have the advisors, the accountants, the lawyers, and few other parties, depending on the type of deal. And of course, from the buyer side, you have lenders, investors, or financiers, if it's applicable. Of course, an M&A deal has much more nuance than what I explained, but when it is done right, it's a win-win on both sides. The seller is able to sell his business for a large amount, and the buyer is able to get a profitable business with existing customer base and which is already making money. So why is M&A so important now than ever? Number one, baby boomers are retiring. We're going to see a big shift in the business landscape in the next 5 to 10 years. There's a flood of great business hitting the market. So there is a lot of money to be made. And if you're a business owner, you may want to act sooner than later. And if you're a buyer, you will have a huge pick in the next 5 to 10 years because there's a lot of baby boomer business owners that are retiring from their business. Number two, there's lots of money still available in the market. In spite of high interest rates, depending on when you watch this video, as of today, there's a lot of people willing to invest into a business acquisition. If there is a good deal on the table, bankers and investors are willing to join. If you're a business owner of a profitable business, a buyer can find money to buy your business easier now than ever. And timing is everything when it comes to business. Number two, technology is changing. Yes, with rapid advancement of AI and technology, many jobs will change. You could possibly buy a traditional company and add many tech features to it to make it more efficient and possibly make more money with the existing business infrastructure. Number three, people want freedom. Gone are those days where people work for 8 hours a day, 40 hours per week until they're 65 to live their life. People want freedom now more than ever. And whether you're a business owner or a 9-to-5 employee, M&A will give you that freedom. So if you're serious about building real wealth, M&A is a tool that you cannot afford to ignore. And if you're a business owner and you have some questions on how to position your business as a sellable asset, you can book a call with me and I can share you some tips and tricks that has worked for other clients and how they are able to sell their business for life-changing amounts. I hope this session on M&A was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.